Hi, my name is Justin Lottridge, brewing manager at Brewery Ommegang, and welcome to our brewery. You might notice two dates on our archway, 1997 and 1549. 1997 is the date that we started the brewery. 1549 is the date of the first Ommegang festival over in Belgium, which we named the brewery after because we did start making all traditional Belgian beers here. We put the brewery here because of three awesome wells in the ground where we get all of our water for brewing, and this used to be a hop farm, and we have about 134 acres here. Now that you know a little bit about the history of this place, let's take you down to the brew house and I'll show you how it's made. Welcome to the beginning of the process. This is our mill house. This is where we store all of our raw materials that we need for brewing. We got our malt and our grains. We have our hops and our spices over here. What we're gonna do first is put our grain through our 4-roll mill and put it into our grist case, exposing the starches that we need to convert into the sugars that yeast can eat to create the beer that we want to make. And follow me, we'll take you right into the brew house. Welcome to our brew house. We have a 3-vessel system here. We have a mash tun. This is where all that grain that I just talked about is going to get put into. We'll add our water, and we do a step mash process here. We'll raise the temperature a few times to really extract all those sugars that we want out of the grain. After the mash tun, it's going to move into our lauter tun, which is essentially a giant kitchen colander, and that's going to separate our grains from the liquid. The liquid is what we call wort. It's essentially just sugar water, and that's what we need to make beer, and that gets put back into our brew kettle. After the beer gets boiled in the brew kettle for at least an hour, it's ready to get cooled and moved to the cellar. Let's go check that out. So this is our cellar. This is where the beer will be conditioned. We have 3 CCTs out here. We have 13 in total. All those big tanks that you see outside will come down to the bottom here. After the yeast is added and the wort is cooled, it'll sit in these tanks for about a week or two, and the yeast will convert those sugars into CO2 and alcohol, making the beer that we all love. Once it's done fermenting, we'll crash the tank and we'll start the lagering process. Lager is just a German word that means cold storage. We'll do that for about a week. Then it'll get clarified through our centrifuge, and that'll get put into our bright beer tank. Here at Ommegang, we believe in making the best quality beer that we possibly can, so every single batch that we produce gets put through a rigorous QC program. We'll check for any beer spoilers, and we check for alcohol and CO2. If everything passes, it's ready for you to drink, and it'll get shipped out. Welcome to the packaging hall. Everything starts with a depalletizer. The cans will get sent from that top line down the line through a date code, and then it'll get sent into the canners. We have 2 canners, one's a 6-head and one's a 5-head. They run tandem next to each other. We do about 4,200 cans an hour. They'll also get a lid right there. If they do not come with a label, they'll get sent through a labeler. The Dream Patch cans, as you can see, come with a labeler, so I'll just skip that process and go right to the pack tech, and we can check that out right down here. This is where it gets those carriers that hold the 4 cans together. You can see them coming down the line now. They'll get to the machine and it'll automatically put that pack tech on it for us, and then it'll get sent down the line and a robot will pick those cans up and put them into the case for us. All right, now that you've seen that process from grain to can, you're probably getting pretty thirsty. Let's go try these beers.